For those of you who haven't been following my content for a while now, this might be brand new, but for those of you who have, it's hopefully clear by now that I'm blessed to be able to work with some absolutely incredible financial advisors on a regular basis. So, as part of that, for the years that I've been doing this, I've been able to see hundreds and hundreds of advisors scale their business to the point where it's pretty much unrecognizable, to where they can hardly believe it when they initially sought out to grow their business. And, they put on that growth hat and they took off the lifestyle hat. It's quite frankly amazing to them to see where they're at now versus where they started. And that's not because of me. I want to be clear. I'm not the reason for this. I don't want it to sound that way. But if you did ask them what the reasons were why they grew so fast, or in general, or maybe what was the one or two things that happened that just was the catalyst to your growth, they'll probably give you a handful of different answers, right? For everyone, you got your own separate thing. I did a recent episode about your on-base percentage as a financial advisor. It's a similar thing. Everyone's going to have their own unique thing to them. But here's the reality. Unfortunately, you are not able to ask them why they grew their business the way they did or what their catalyst was. But the good news is I am able to, and I have asked them that. And I've gathered that data. And so now I can share with you, in no particular order, the most common 10 things, the 10 hacks that I've seen and heard from financial advisors for how they grew their business, regardless of what their niche was, regardless of their situation, if they're independent or captive, regardless of what they where they're at in the country. This is wide scale. Okay. So the first hack, and again, these are in no particular order, but the first hack that came up probably more than anything else though is number one, knowing your numbers. Okay. When you track your entire business, and this is not just the ROI, by the way, if you're doing marketing efforts and you know that you put $1 into here and you get $3 back, that's a great data, and keep doing that. But tracking your numbers honestly goes beyond that. Okay. Have a system in place to track things like your leads that are coming in, not just the leads coming in, but the lead flow where they fall off. Have a tracking system for first appointments, for your second appointments. Track your closing ratios, both for you as the primary advisor, perhaps, or maybe you're the secondary or the sub-advisor, or maybe you're a paraplanner or an associate or a partner in the firm. Track everyone's independently and then group it together as an average. Okay, we track the marketing ROI. And one of the biggest things that I don't think a lot of advisors track enough is, and this is my term that I've been using to explain it, but it is the cost of service. Okay. Track how much time you are roughly spending with your A clients, your B clients, your C clients. Okay. It's really, really easy sometimes to overlook those C clients and the time you spend with them. But if you realized that you're spending almost 50% of your client service time working with C clients who don't bring in a lot of revenue for you, who do not treat your team well, who are a burden on you, well, you can probably know where I'm going there. So anyways, moving on. The second hack to accelerating your growth is to automate your client services as much as you possibly can. Now, you don't want to go all the way automation. I want to be clear. Do not go all the way automation. Automation is the exact opposite and the enemy of personalization. And with client relationships, you want to have a personal component. But loving on your clients doesn't have to be just a special occasion. Make it a part of a routine or a process-driven approach where every time it's their birthday, they get hit with a birthday card in the mail. And by the way, try to do a physical card and not an email. I put out a poll on LinkedIn a long time ago about this. A lot of people are doing emails instead of physical cards. It doesn't mean anything. Sorry, people don't care. Give them maybe a birthday gift, or just send them a special if it's an anniversary email. And emails are okay there, but a special anniversary email, preferably a card again though, whether it's an anniversary for them and their spouse, or maybe it's them working with you. Okay. Or maybe it's from when they retired. That's another really good one. Quarterly reviews, annual statements, all of these things you might be manually typing an email out to send to people, or manually picking up the phone and calling them. We can automate that. Okay. And then Also, make sure your staff is really clear that even though they're automating a lot of this, that when that client does call in, they are in a sales business, okay? Financial advising, financial services is sales at its core. They're in a sales business, so every interaction matters, okay? So as long as you continually empower them to make a positive impact on your clients, when it's a personal moment, you will always reap the rewards, and you basically earn the right to automate most everything. Okay. The number 3 hack is to make a marketing plan and, of course, stick to it. Now, marketing is the lifeblood of any business, so you need to treat it as such. Plan for it, expect it, allocate enough funds to it. But if you really want to scale your business, truly, only relying on friends and family for referrals is not going to work long term. Now, some of you might strictly be referrals, and that's okay. But referable businesses are not businesses you can truly sell, because it's entirely dependent upon those clients and maybe their interaction with you. So make a marketing plan, even if it's one event per quarter. Have something planned out and laid out. But my big advice on this marketing calendar piece, don't start it in January. Try going from Q4 to Q4 instead of Q1 to Q1. Okay, when you do that, you're going to overcome the mental hurdles that a lot of people have, not just in the advisory space, but think about, in your personal life. It's December 29th, December 30th, and you're thinking, what is my goal for next year? We hit that New Year's resolution button. We have all these big goals and they trail off. Okay, get ahead of that by doing it in the fourth quarter of the year, starting in October, November time maybe, and just run train through the actual first of the year. So then you're not prone to losing what you wanted to create. Now, hack number 4 is similar to the marketing plan, but it is the content calendar. Okay, if you guys listen to a recent podcast episode, I explained the difference between a content calendar and a marketing calendar. Now, the content calendar, again, just to recap this, your marketing is the actions, the things you're going to be doing. Okay, let's say if you're doing radio shows, the marketing calendar is when you schedule those shows. The content calendar is what holds the content of those shows, your talking points, your speaking points. For me, with this podcast I'm doing now, these videos, my marketing calendar lays out when I'm doing the videos, and they lay out when I'm posting videos and posting podcasts. But the content calendar is what holds the actual thing that's being posted. So, create and use a content calendar. Number 5 hack to growing and really maximizing the growth of your firm is to be a little picky about the people you spend your time with. Okay, and this is specifically in a professional setting. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this before. Dr. McClellan from, I believe it was Harvard, had this big study, and it ultimately decided that you will be the average of the 5 people you associate the most with. If you want to grow your income, you hang out with people that are wealthier than you. If you want to expand your time and free up your time, hang out with people who have more time than you, right? If you want to grow in whatever the aspect is in your life, spend time with people who are better than you. Because eventually, if you spend time with people who are not better than you, who are not succeeding at a higher level than you, and if you are the one pulling the majority of the weight, you will stop your growth and stunt it faster than anything else could ever happen. So be picky about the people you associate with. Do not be comfortable with status quo. Okay. In some cases, you may need to pay to get in a room with better people, but oftentimes it's just networking. We live in a world nowadays with social media. Reach out to people who you see, at least visually, it looks like they're doing things at a higher level than you. And just ask them. Open up. Ask them what they're doing to succeed.